everyone, welcome back to ONYX Pages. This is the BookNetFest Tag, and before I get into the questions, I want to acknowledge Hurricane Dorian. As everyone knows, there is a Category 5 hurricane that has devastated the Bahamas, and reports are coming in. This is one of the largest and strongest recorded hurricanes to hit that region. We are learning about families that have no homes. There are obviously people who probably didn't have homes who will not have homes going forward. We have heard about children dying. We've heard about just massive devastation in those islands in that area. And so while I am excited about BookNetFest and excited to see everybody again, and there's a part of me that's hoping that Orlando will still be a safe place to fly into and fly out of over the weekend. I also can't wrap my mind around the excitement of BookNetFest while at the same time Black folks, African descended folks, diasporic folks are going through significant trauma and devastation. So that is what it means to be a Black queer booktuber. It means that we will find ourselves in situations like this where we've got a number of different emotions sort of running through at the same time. So I am going to do this tag, but in order for me to do this tag authentically, because this is not the first take, it was important for me, and Tommy and I chatted about it too, so thank you for encouraging me to share this part of the experience. It was important for me to preface this tag with that. So my heart goes out to the families and communities in the Bahamas who are going through it as I record this. All right. So for those of you who do not know, BookNetFest is a gathering of bookish content creators on a number of different platforms. So book bloggers, booktubers, bookstagrammers. This was put together. This is the third BookNetFest, and BookNetFest was birthed out of the minds of Mari from My Name is Marinas and Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. I had the pleasure of attending BookNetFest last year for the first time, and this year I'll be attending as both an attendee but also as a panelist on 2 panels. And this tag was created by Kathy Treidhart, who is an important contributor in the booktube community, but also in the BookNetFest community. So this tag has been presented as an icebreaker, as a way for those of us who are going to the convention to get all excited about it, and for those of us who are actually at BookNetFest to get to know each other a little bit before being together in real time. I will at this point do a plug for the Back from BookNetFest tag, and that's a tag that I created riffing off of Kathy's BookNetFest tag, and it's a way to kind of wrap up the experience. So for those of you who do go, and if you are watching this, remember that when you are on your way back or when you get back, to do the Back from BookNetFest tag as well. So I'm going to get into the questions. The first is introduce yourself. My name is Njeri Damali. I am a Toronto-based booktuber. I read science fiction, fantasy, magical realism, a little bit of horror, comics, and graphic novels written by African descended people. I focus on Afrofuturism or Afri-futurism, and that is pretty much exclusively what I read. So my channel, ONYX Pages, which I started 2 years ago, has become a resource for the bookish community on Afrofuturism, Black science fiction, and so on. So that's where the channel is right now. In addition to that just creating the channel. And I actually think ONYX Pages is the only booktube channel that focuses on Black science fiction and fantasy and Afrofuturism. And so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of what this channel has been able to accomplish. There are a couple of innovative things that have happened through this platform for me. So I created the 7 calorie shell rating system, which is what I use when I'm rating books, and I've got a video that talks a little bit about the evolution of this rating system. I also created the Kwanzaa Reflectathon, which is a reflectathon, so it's not a readathon. You don't have to read any new books, but it's an opportunity at the end of the year to use the 7 principles of Kwanzaa to reflect on our reading for the year, and in some cases to plan to be more purposeful about reading in the year to come. And yes, I am as active as I can be in the booktube community, and outside of my bookish work, I am a lawyer, I am a mentor, I am a wife, daughter, cousin, friend, community member, low-key activist, I guess. So that is who I am. Where are you traveling from? How are you getting to Orlando? Well, ain't that the question? I don't know if I'm going to BookNetFest. That really depends on how safe travel will be. If I do go to BookNetFest, it will be by plane, and I will be traveling to and from Toronto. What platforms do you use to express your love of books? I use YouTube primarily. The next most frequent platform that I use is Facebook. So in 2015, I started Solar Powered. It's a slow reading group for when we read Afrofuturism books, and we center our discussions around the Black, people of color, and Indigenous queer experience. So that's on Facebook, and I spend my non-YouTube time there. I'm also active on Twitter and also kind of active on Instagram, but more as somebody who likes other people's stuff as opposed to bookstagrammers, although I am really curious about bookstagramming. BookNet reads book club books. I will not be reading any of the books. I usually don't find out about them far enough in advance, and because I'm a slow reader, I need a little bit more lead time, but also usually the books aren't within my reading genre or tastes, and so I need to be really judicious about my time. So I won't be reading those books, but I'm happy that others will be. What are you most looking forward to at BookNetFest? So I am definitely looking forward to just spending time with people I met last year, because I had some amazing moments, and if you want to find out what I'm talking about, you can always check the Back from BookNetFest video where I take you through some of those moments, and there are pictures and things like that. I'm looking forward to meeting new people, people whose channels I enjoy, whose personalities I enjoy, who inspire me. I am looking forward to downtime and alone time, so I'm not even going to lie about that. So there will be bubble baths. There will be a lot of introversion, quietness, heat, all the things that I need to rejuvenate. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to do that. I'm also going to be on a panel this year, 2 panels. So one is about reviewing books and the other is about reading critically. So I'm looking forward to the panels and listening to and learning from my co-panelists, and also the opportunity to be more deliberate about the content that I share in an in-person environment. And a lot of people have put together swag. So I've seen like bookmarks and stuff like that. So I want to collect bookish swag from my booktube people, and I will have stickers. So I'm super excited about that as well. I worked with a great artist and designer, and he made that. So looking forward to sharing that with y'all. Have you attended other bookish events that you'd recommend? yes, I would recommend WizCon, which is a feminist science fiction book convention that takes place in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. Obviously, it's called WizCon. That happens every year, and I think it's in April, May-ish, I want to say. I could have gotten that wrong. I also, in Toronto, go to the Black Speculative Arts Movement when I can. So that's a thing. And I'm still sort of getting into the rhythm. I would like Worldcon to become a regular excursion for me. I've never actually gone. This year I was planning to go to Ireland, but that fell through, along with many of my travel plans this year, so that's a gripe that I've got. But in any event, I hope that Worldcon becomes one of the regulars, and I would recommend it even though I've never gone. And there is it's a biannual convention, or maybe triannual convention, called the Other Futures Conference, and it's a science fiction convention in Amsterdam for folks of color. So if that happens again, I would love to go to that because it was an incredible experience. What books are you planning to read this weekend? I will probably read one of my selections for the Latinxathon or the Space Opera September readathon. I don't know exactly which one it will be, but at some point I'll have TBRs, and at some point you'll see all the books that I'm interested in reading, so it'll be definitely one of those. Do you have any internet book friends you're excited to see, meet physically for the first time in person? I'm going to put my phone down because this one takes a lot of concentration. There are a number of people that I met last year who I really enjoyed spending time with. So Olivia from I Live for Books, Rachel from Rachel Ray, Derby from Derby Lane Reads, India, my friend India, we are friends, my friend India from Life is a Page Turner, and her now fiance Eric. I also had an opportunity to meet Sam and Mari, who are the creators of the conference, and Kathy. It was lovely to meet her. Thomas from SFF 180. Looking forward to spending time with him. Also, my girl Linnell from Weekend Reader. We are best friends who communicate over Twitter in a very staccato fashion, but I really, really, really like her, and so I hope to be able to spend more time with her. And then there were other people who I didn't spend a lot of time with, but I got to sort of maneuver around and just be around their vibes. So I'm looking forward to those individuals as well. Sorry, I missed so many people. Priscilla and Yvette. So Priscilla and Yvette and Jocelyn. Priscilla and Yvette. So Priscilla is from Bookie Charm, and Yvette is from the Book Cave, and the two of them are sisters. If you're not subscribed to their channel, please go take a look. They are so, like, the literary, like, genetic thread in that family, like, the force is strong within those two. They're smart, they're funny, they are really cool even when you watch their videos, like, together. They reference each other in their videos. They're very good friends as sisters, and I just love them. So they're going to be there again this year, so I'm looking forward to spending time with them. Jocelyn I don't know as well, but she's with Yogi with a Book, and she is also super brilliant. The three of them are 3 out of the 4 booktubers who started the Latinxathon, so I'm looking forward to spending time with them. And I'll probably have missed a bunch of people, but that's what happens when you don't prepare notes. Then there are some booktubers who I've never met before in person, who I'm very excited to meet. I have to begin, like a lot of people have, with Adriana from Perpetual Pages. Adriana created the first booktube video that I ever watched, and I got bitten by the bug because of their sheer excellence. Adriana is an excellent content creator. Their wrap-ups are beautiful, and I literally just, whenever I leave a message after one of their videos, it's just pure gushing. And so I'm looking forward to being on a panel with them, but also getting an opportunity to just meet them in person. There's also Jessie from Bow Ties and Books, who's just such an incredible innovator, hit the booktube community by storm. So I'm looking forward to meeting them and seeing all of the fashion that I'm sure they're going to bring. I'm looking forward to meeting Luxurious Blue, who's a newer content creator as well on our platform, and they are just lovely and trini and salty and funny, and just can't wait to see them. Who else? Charles from Sir Booked Sage, who reads a lot of vintage SFF and has such a calming voice. So I'm looking forward to meeting Charles in person. And there are so many people who are going to be going to BookNetFest for the very first time, and I'm looking forward to meeting them and also being surprised by people who I don't know will be there. So that will be a lot of fun. I think Oshale from Oshi Reads is going to be there too, and she's a panelist, so it'll be fun to see her. She's very, very vibrant on camera, and I would love to just meet her in person as well. I think that's it. So I'm not going to tag anybody because it's Monday and I feel like that's a little too much pressure. So if you are going to BookNetFest though, or if you hope to go to BookNetFest and you haven't done this tag, I would encourage you to do it and to make sure that you tag this video with your, if you film a video, make sure that you use the hashtag so that if we click on the hashtag, we can see all of the videos, and then you can, get to know people virtually before you get to know them in real time. That is my BookNetFest tag video. Have a great Monday. Bye.